Hey everyone, happy college football, happy new year. Welcome to Porcelain Picks, and I'm your host, Andrew Fabian. It is Monday morning, New Year's Day. My family's getting through the stomach bug, but we at Porcelain Picks, we don't take days off. I did a show from Aruba earlier this year. I'm doing a show with the stomach bug this morning for you because we at Porcelain Picks give you the locks you need as you scroll atop the porcelain throne, all right? And today's no different. Today might be the biggest day of the college football season. We got the college football playoff with the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl I'm going to be picking, but I do have one other game that I'm going to sprinkle in today. We've got a big season. This is coming to a close. It's been a pleasure bringing you all the locks you need. Hopefully you've been jumping on the porcelain bandwagon and getting some winners year in and year out. A couple days ago, we went 5-1 on the Friday and Saturday slate. So you're welcome for that if you did follow those games. Stamp, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be bringing you the college football championship game as well. But let's jump into the action today. We've got the Citrus Bowl at 1 p.m. So that's Iowa, Tennessee. All right, so Iowa comes in right now. They're a 5.5-point dog. I saw them as high as an 8-point dog earlier in bowl season when the schedules were released. We know on the Tennessee side, Joe Milton is out. He decided to enter the NFL draft. So Nico Iamaleava, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. His era is beginning. He's that 5-star recruit, one of the top quarterbacks in the country coming out of high school last year. Iowa doesn't have many opt-outs on their side of the ball. So a first-time quarterback, I think that's going to play, not a first-time playing. He's played some of the games this year. He's gotten some meaningful minutes. But coming out in your first start with all this, the build-up to bowl season, it's New Year's Day. You're playing against an Iowa team that is just kind of just a shoulder shrugger this year. We know their offense has been abysmal. Their defense is a disruptor. So what'll that do on Nico today? I think Iowa's going to show up. They're going to stunt a bit. They're going to show a couple defensive looks that Tennessee hasn't seen this year. Of course, Tennessee's offense is a kind that Iowa hasn't seen this year, so their defense will be tested. I like 2 picks in this game. I actually like Iowa plus 5.5 against Nico in his first start in Tennessee. I think the Hawkeyes come out and they do get a couple meaningful turnovers with short fields that lead to field goals for the Hawkeyes. They don't have opt-outs. They're going to be coming in to try to beat an SEC team today. So I think the Hawkeyes plus 5.5, lock it, flush it. I also, as I have all year long, will be dropping the under in this game. So under 36.5, lock it, flush it. Those are the 2 picks in the Citrus Bowl. All right, let's jump to the Rose Bowl action. So what you've been waiting for the last 3 or 4 weeks since the bowls were announced. We've got the Rose Bowl matchup between Alabama and Michigan. I like Bama in this game. I'm just going to say it right off the top. I think Nick Saban's coming in a different spot than he's used to. Usually we have Saban and Alabama sitting there with a lot to lose. If they do lose, they're typically heavy favorites with a lot to prove. However, I think Michigan they're the favorite. They're a 2-point favorite at the time of this recording. I think Harbaugh has a lot to prove to this Michigan fan base. They've been here before. They haven't been able to win a playoff game. So I think all the pressure in this game is riding on Michigan. And I do think Bama's peaked at the right time. Of course, they had that horrible showing where they almost lost to a terrible Auburn team, save for a miracle by Joe Milton throwing that touchdown pass at the end. But I think Joe Milton's a different type of athlete. Michigan hasn't seen that type of quarterback. Michigan's seen guys like Drew Aller, Kyle McCord, whoever started, for the other, Taya Vangelo in one matchup with Maryland, but they haven't seen an athlete the caliber of Joe Milton at the quarterback position, nor the gunslinger capability that Joe Milton brings to play. I think Joe Milton's going to have a big day. I think he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder. We've all seen or maybe you haven't, but he's had some interviews where he blames Bill O'Brien, or he has a chip on his shoulder from Bill O'Brien a couple years back telling him he shouldn't play quarterback. And we all see where he's at now as a starting quarterback. So I like Bama to come in. I think they're the wrong team's the underdog in this game. Bama plus 2, roll tide, lock it, flush it, and then the Michigan faithful will be yelling at Harbaugh as he potentially gets an extension or goes to the NFL. All right, we're going to jump to the Sugar Bowl now. So the nightcap, we've got Washington, a 4-point dog against the Texas Longhorns. When this game first came out and first got released, and a lot of people have not seen Washington play. They're on the West Coast. They play late games a lot. I think the committee probably hasn't watched Washington play a lot, and I doubt you have seen them actually play a game. more than just against Oregon. But we do see, obviously, Michael Penix Jr. comes in with a lot of accolades at the quarterback position. If you haven't heard of this guy, probably the best receiver in the country, Rome Odunze. I think he's one of the top wide receivers in all of the country, maybe behind Marvin Harrison Jr. He's going to be a pro. I think Washington comes in with, on paper, the team that should be the underdog in this game, but they did as well when they played Oregon and beat Oregon twice. All right. So Washington, a 4-point dog in this game, over-under set at 63.5 at the time of this recording. On the Texas side, Steve Sarkisian, I think he's got these guys just roaring through. I think Steve Sarkisian's had really a good showing at Texas, and he's going to have these guys back to the college football playoffs and back to the Final Four within the next few years, I think, as this playoff expands. You got Quinn Ewers and Xavier Worthy, Xavier Worthy, one of the best weapons at wide receiver in the Big 12 this year. This is going to be a good matchup. I really like this matchup. I love that it's the nightcap. I love that I get to use this as an excuse to stay up if my stomach bug's not kicking back into full gear. I like Washington in this game. I think Washington +4 has some value to it. I think it's going to be a track meet. Washington hasn't gotten respect all season long. I think they deserve it here. Take the Huskies +4, lock it, flush it. I also think it's going to be a track meet, 63.5. I think the quarterbacks are going to be involved in this game. Washington's offensive line and defensive line have played really up to the task against Oregon when they've met. I think Texas moves the ball. I think Texas is going to get some yardage on them. So take the over, 63.5, lock it, flush it. All right, those are your picks today. Because at Porcelain Picks, we do not take breaks. We bring you the locks you need as you scroll atop the porcelain throne. For Andrew Fabian and Joey Reel, happy college football.